I'm Tom, K5RC. I'm caretaker of the W7RN contest station near Virginia City, Nevada.
And Tom has been so kind to give us a tour of the most amazing place I've seen that has anything to do with ham radio so far. Tom has an antenna farm. How many antennas? What's going on? Why don't you start with this one right here, Tom?
We have 8 towers and 54 antennas.
54 antennas.
Total.
Holy moly. So this is
a 175-foot monopole. It weighs 30,000 pounds. There's four truckloads of concrete in the base. It has 4 6-element 15-meter beams, a 13-element 6-meter beam, and 3-element 80 at 175 feet.
Holy moly.
The 80 weighs 600 pounds.
So it's quite the maintenance to keep up on all this. I can only imagine, huh?
Oh yes, never ends. There's always a project to do. This one over here is a 125-foot monopole. It has 4 10-meter beams stacked on it and a 2-element 40 at the top.
Very, very cool.
This one over here has a 12 and 17-meter beam and a 7-element 6-meter beam. At this altitude and drop-off, a single antenna can't be more than 30 feet off the ground or it doesn't work.
What's the elevation here?
6,500.
Yeah, beautiful views up here.
That one is 140 feet. It rotates at the 40-foot level. It's got 3 20-meter beams, a 30-meter beam, a low 10-meter beam pointed to Australia, and at the very top is a 6-element 6 at 150 feet.
So you do a lot of contesting up here?
That's the primary thing we do. These days we host remotes, so we have 3 remotes that are used regularly. And then each box is for a different band. It switches the antennas on each band. See, they call it wireless.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's a lot to keep track of.
And the rotators draw so much current they have to have their own power supplies.
How does everything handle the snow up here?
Well, we haven't had much this year, but we've had a couple of problems with icing, but not on a regular basis. This is these 2 are receiving loops that WX7M built me for the 160 contest last weekend.
How did those work out?
They didn't.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It's constant experimentation.
Very cool.
And then we have our obligatory back room.
Ooh, the back room.
There's normally 5 amplifiers in here. There's 3 of them died in December. They're back at the doctor getting fixed.
It's like a repeater site in here.
We've got a nest of wires. When I was doing IT a long time ago, I messed around with a nest of wires like that.
Like I said, they call it wireless.
Very, very cool.
In the shack.
Oh, holy moly.
Mission control south.
So this is where all the magic happens?
Most of it. Like I said, we have 3 remotes.
Holy moly.
Jeez.
Mind if I get a quick view of everything?
Yeah, I'll give you a guided tour. This is the main station. It has 3 Yellowcraft K3s and usually 3 ACOM amplifiers. But like I said, they died in December, so they're off to the repair station. This computer here has all the antenna switching for the station. You can turn all the antennas, you can switch which antennas you want, and a watt meter. And in the upper right hand corner is one of the remote boxes. Right now there's a guy in Houston using the remote. What's he on, 17 or 10? I can't see.
10, looks like.
And this is the logging computer. It's the logging computer. It uses N1MM. It's a freebie logging program.
What about this guy over here?
That's called a reverse beacon network.
Oh, the RBN. Okay.
So when I get on, I call CQ and see who's hearing me.
Okay.
And that one is ham maps. So right now it doesn't look like anything is happening on the West Coast. So we can turn it on because we opened the band.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Two of the Yellowcraft radios are back being fixed as well. I don't know what happened in December, but and then over there is all the rotator control boxes. There's 9 of them.
Did you feel the earthquake yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was it? Where was it centered?
About 9 miles south of Sparks, right near my house, because I live down in DeMonte Ranch. So it was like right there. It was only about 2 seconds long. It was like, like, what in the world happened?
Okay, that monitor is 6 meter FT8. K5XI down in Scottsdale owns all the 6 meter stuff, and he leaves his decoder on all the time.
So I see there's a ton of awards here on the wall. What are all these about?
Well, it's about 65 years of contesting. All the plaques up there are from ARL sweepstakes. There's 22 of them. We have one fellow who operates sideband sweepstakes, another one who operates CW sweepstakes, and they've been coming here like 20 years. So
Quite a lot of accomplishments here.
well, most of them are other people. I don't actively contest anymore. I did about 6 hours in the 160 contest Saturday, and that was about enough for me.
Super cool.
I guess the one unusual one on the right, near the bottom, I remember the CQ Magazine Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. I love it.
And I have 374 countries confirmed. There's no way to put the QSLs up, so I shrunk them all down.
I saw that. Those are the smallest QSL cards
Oh.
I've ever seen.
Holy moly.
There's probably quite a few places you've never heard of.
Probably.
No, it is just littered with them. And of course the rubber chicken. Everybody's got to have the rubber chicken, right?
Well, that has a story. My radio operator, radio teletype operator, those are his plaques up there. And he owns Twisted Oak Winery in Berkeley, California. So that chicken has to be up here on the operating bench when he's here.
I like it.
And then I have more of my antics hanging on the wall there. The first one is the one on the right is the first 10-meter contest that I operated from the Johnson Space Center in Houston. I worked there for 14 years.
No way. Really?
During Apollo Skylab.
Oh, very cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually heard Houston we have a problem firsthand.
Oh, no way.
The one in the middle is we attempted to activate all 3,077 counties in the United States over 2 weekends. We fell about 1,000 short, but that's not too bad.
No, not at all. Wait, you're rovering?
Yeah, there were a lot. We had a lot of rovers. The one on the left is just a bunch of our multi-ops. Before COVID, we did a lot of multi-ops. Next one down is XE2FU. We used to operate in northern Mexico. And then for that same gig in 1986, I talked the governor of Texas into giving us a new county, Armadillo County.
Oh, that's what the sign is above your car?
Yeah, that was over the Armadillo County Courthouse. It's now a deleted county.
A lot of great history behind this station, huh?
And the bottom left is I was part of the first moon bounce experiments. That's Sam Harris, W1XZ. He had quite the setup as well. He had a 40-foot dish, and everything was in an old school bus. It was, and this is 1964.
So back then, that's how much space that would take.
And then in the middle, my buddy and I were the first ones to ever operate from Tahiti. And that's 60 years ago this week. K5LZO in the pictures of Silent Key. I just sent a picture to his wife. She remembers it well. We were gone for a month. And then the big one, I was the chairman of the 1983 National Convention in Houston. Did you get the big one there?
Oh.
We had 4,000 people show up. This was sweepstakes 1959, and I just got bit by the contest thing. Never had much of a station till I moved to Houston, and I went to work for Madison Electronics, which was one of the biggest electronics stores in the country at that time. So I had an apartment with no heat, and we had to run electricity from across the alley, but I had a Collins S line and a kilowatt amplifier. So that kind of helped keep my DXCC totals pretty high. It was a DX family that ran the place. So I met my partner in 1966 when we were working at Mission Control together. We were both electronic technicians, and I got him. He got the contest bug too, but I stayed there for 14 years. He went and started his own business, and we met up about 10 years later. I had my first contest station in South Houston. It was 5 towers, but it was a Rube Goldberg. I couldn't afford all that stuff, so we scrimped and saved, and I repaired radios at night so we could buy parts on the weekend. So Grady got bit by that and said, "This is a piece of junk. I want to build a real. I want you to build a real no compromise station." So he bought 5 acres and we put up 4 towers, and it worked right up until the hurricane came through, and that gave us a lot of scrap.
Oh no, that's got to be heartbreaking.
Yeah, and he got divorced. I got divorced. We lost contact again, and in 2006, I had a big reunion here for this armadillo run I told you about, and he said, "Why don't we build another station here?" He said, "I'll fund it. You build it." So we did, and that's what you see outside. He wanted the best of everything, so the antennas are all rated at 120 miles an hour, and everything's up to stay. We didn't compromise on any of it. So hopefully we'll not have major antenna issues in the future. Unfortunately, he was one of the first to die from COVID.
That's a bummer.
It's a big bummer. I think about him every day. We were friends for 53 years.
Oh, it's got to be rough.
Yeah, and he was the financier, so now I'm holding a tin cup begging for contributions now. He built us a Formula One race car, and we're trying to maintain it on Social Security.
I can only imagine.
So that's the story. I said we have 3 remotes. People all over the country use them, and that helps. It helps with the donations. And the guy that's on 10 meters right now, he's in a retirement home. He's 84, 85, something like that. So
if someone wanted to donate, how would they get a hold of you to do that?
My email address, tom@k5rc.com.
So if there's anybody out there interested, and feel free to give Tom an email.
Yeah, it's quite expensive to maintain this stuff.
I can only imagine.
And then if these 3 amplifiers need tubes, it's $1,200 a pair for each one. We're working on it, but it's always a struggle.
So do you ever rent out any of the remotes or anything?
I don't believe in that. That's not ham radio.
Okay. No, I was just curious.
I don't know how they get away with that. I really don't.
Yeah, I would feel weird sitting at my computer talking on the big station from my condo. That's for sure.
Yeah,
it would feel like the internet, but
they were here for a while. They had a remote here for a while, but
I would still do it though.
I just had enough. I just don't believe in it. So, I mean, if you want to rent one of the remote ham radio stations for a contest over a weekend, it'll cost you $2,000. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's quite pricey.
As I mentioned outside, we try to get new hams up here. I mean, we got Tyler K7TDM up here, and he just rips it on phone contests. He found his niche, so he and 2 other guys do most of the groundwork, and they get to operate. They get a pass on contributions to the station because they get down there and run around and muck and do all the hard work. So the plan is, as I mentioned, we have 18 verticals in a 300-foot circle at the bottom of the hill, and we're just beginning to test them. So it's going to be interesting to see if they work the way the designer expects them to. If so, we'll have the best receiving antenna around. It's not replicable. It would cost somebody about $50,000 to build all the equipment that's down in that little house at the bottom of the driveway.
Oh wow!
But the guy that did it, WX7M, is pretty much an electronics genius. He had a big spread down in Smith Valley, and he's got medical problems, so they had to sell it. He lives in South Reno right now. This is one of his projects right here. I believe it's a 36 element 20 meter array. It's fixed on Ireland, where he's from. He was loud in Ireland.
So where did the call sign W7RN come from?
I mined 2-letter calls back in the day.
Oh.
I discovered that you get on QRZ.com and look at calls that sound interesting, and if they have 20 or 30 views, the guy's probably dead. And then you go to the Social Security database, and if they're in there, you send a death certificate into FCC. Well, they got wise to me. Because we have W7RN, we have K7RC, we've got KS7AA is the Story County emergency ARIES call. And I've helped quite a few people find a good call sign, but those days are over. Now you gotta just shoot the chances on getting in the lottery. But I've had K5RC since '76, so I think I'll hold on to it. I just don't use it because W7RN has a QSL manager, so I don't have to mess with cards. Right now we have 410,000 QSOs
Holy
in the
moly.
logbook of the world.
Wow.
So as I said, and I don't even count the ones on the remote. I have no idea. We had W1YL was on it for 5 years. She's the grand dame of ARL. She and her husband worked there, and I've known her since I was a teenager. So we got her hooked up when she moved into her retirement home. She made almost 1,200 contacts a year for 5 years.
Amazing.
Yeah, she was an amazing lady.
Well, we really appreciate you taking the time out of your day and showing off your station. And
That's what it's here for. I encourage people to come visit and get on the air. Try it yourselves.
all right. Well, this is the man right here himself, Tom. We really appreciate you, Tom.
No problem.